back to the show. So now we're doing a scene. We did this. We had this experts thing, the three little words meant. The way we did the show was we had no rehearsals. Okay, the thing was you got your script through email. You learned it dead cold. You come in at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and we run through it, and the audience is in there at 7, and we nail it. So 3 o'clock in the afternoon, we're doing this scene, and Mark's back, and he's sitting there on the couch, and I'm a script fanatic, and he says, we do the scene, he comes up and he says, I got a problem. He says, yeah, he says, I got 2 lines here, and he says, the problem is the first line is the funny one, not the second one. So what's going to happen, he says, if I leave a gap for the first line, then the second line is going to feel like disconnected from everything. But if I say the second line right away, it's going to step on the laugh in the first line. So I said, well, actually, you don't have a problem because the second line is the funny one, not the first one. So he says, no, you're wrong. I said, well, I've been doing it for a while, and like I could be wrong, but it's never going to be. So we leave it. Now, the way we did the show was we did it the same show in front of 2 audiences. Bring an audience in, do the whole show, get rid of the audience, have a meeting, do the same show again, new people. So we're getting ready to go out to do that scene. Mark said to me, any change on the, no, as written. He said, well, do you want to make a little wager on it? I said, yeah, sure. So we put a loonie, which is a Canadian dollar. We put a loonie on the deal that I'm right. So, okay, so now we come to the bit. And he comes to his first, he says his first line, and there's like a little, like a, all right. Then he says his second line, huge explosion of laughter. Okay? He gives me a dirty look. We finish the scene, and we always would do the scene and then walk off. He's mad. He's mad about the thing. He won't talk to me. He wants me to still reaching it. Okay, well, whatever. So anyway, so then we finish the show. Then we have a little meeting. I said to him, Mark, maybe that was a fluke audience. We got a new audience coming in. If you want to go, they'll go down. and he said, no, and I paraphrased. So anyways, now we're at the second show. Audience is in. And literally, like they count down and we walk in. And as we're walking in, he says to me, you're on. Okay, so now we're sitting there. And it comes to that spot. And he says the first line, you can hear crickets 7 miles. He says the second line is like a nuclear explosion. He reaches into his pocket. He takes out $2, hands it to me. Like it's got nothing to do with the scene. What's going on? So anyway, so we get it all done. Now, later on, I was also editing the shows. I mean, I wasn't physically editing, but I was there to say, do this, do that. And because we had done the first show, I could cut around him handing me the money. But I didn't. And that's what it is. And for all eternity, when that episode comes on the air, people are watching, what the hell? Mark Wilson will know. Any other questions? I'll tell you, it's very easy. You people have confidence. If you like something, you're not afraid to like it. You just go ahead and like it. There's a real openness here that we could learn a lot from in Canada. We have this way of, am I supposed to like this? That's what I don't know if I'm supposed to like this because I'm kind of liking it. That's the thing. You guys, and this is in my book too. The American default position is to kind of like you and trust you, and then you got to prove them wrong. And I find Canadians believe me, my best friends are Canadians, solid people, but they tend to kind of distrust you a little bit. You've got to kind of prove yourself to them the other way. Sometimes it's wrong.
Excuse me. Yeah. Do you still keep in touch with the cast?
Not very much. I mean, the odd time I get an email from Pat McKenna, he and I were really, really good friends. But they're all working actors. They're all over the country working. Mm-hmm. And now I'm traveling around too. But the last few years I've been spending my winters in Florida. And I live in Hamilton, and they're all kind of like in Toronto. So it's kind of like...
Dancers, you know?
Yes.
How did you get your ideas for Handyman's Corner?
Well, I'm kind of mechanical. I'm a mechanical person. Like as a teenager, I was putting the wrong engines in cars and stuff. And I took engineering at the University of Waterloo. I didn't take all of it. I left most of it for the others. In fact, I actually was ahead of my time. I fast-tracked there. I did 4 years in one, but the university refused to accept that. So, but when I went there, it was a co-op university, so you went to school for 4 months and then you worked for 4 months. And where I worked, I was in a maintenance department at a big factory, so I was welding and electrical work and plumbing and mill work and everything. So I knew enough about a lot of different things, to be dangerous. We have a lot of fans from people who do it, who work with their hands and do that, because they know this guy has some sense of what he's doing. This is not somebody gave him a script and he's doing it. But in the early days, we did the show on such a shoestring budget. There was one in the first season where we put gull-wing doors on, like a Ford Granada. So, like, I'd do the scene, blah, 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 blah. Okay, cut. Now I get an acetylene torch, cut the door off the car, which you're supposed to hire somebody to do, and then we would do the next bit. So that's just the way it was. Yep.
For the handyman's corner, who did all the work as far as the heavy work, putting two cars together and things like that?
We had a full crew of guys that, number one, like loved what they were doing. And they would, whatever they saw in the script, they would try to embellish it and make it actually work rather than just a trick thing. So I would say 90% of the handyman corners worked a little bit for a little while. There were very few where we had to just do all camera angles around it and everything. So the one guy, he's a licensed mechanic, and he had like a garage that had a deal with the police and the insurance companies that when they had an accident, cars all ended up in his lot. And he supplied cars for the fire department when they wanted to practice how to get somebody to the jaws of life, or they wanted to have a car on fire. So he had an unlimited supply of cars, particularly K cars. we would do these things. There's always a big, there's always the money shot was the one where you come to the end of the scene, you've done all the prep work, the whole thing, and now whatever it was that we built now has to work a little bit. And now it's always a big argument, huge argument. Is this going to work, or am I going to die? There was one where we had the premise was it's dangerous to carry an aluminum boat on the roof of your car, so it's better if you could raise the car up, put the aluminum boat under it. So we put rear wheel tractor tires on, I think, a Honda Civic. So that raised it up. Now we can put the boat underneath. Well, a couple of problems. A car with very little power has very little wheels for a reason. That's all it can turn. So I'm in this Honda Civic, and like you can smell the clutch from 20 miles just to get it to move. Now, that was problem number one. Problem number two was the wheels were so huge they almost touched, here, and they went over the door seam, which meant once I was inside the car, I couldn't get out. Okay? Now, of course, the money shot is I'm going to drive this thing into the lake because it's also amphibious. It's not just so now we've got a huge argument. They didn't want me to do it because it wasn't the last episode. The whole thing is, like, if I get in there and it sinks, I can't get out because I've got the door won't open. I can go out the window. So then the compromise we ended up with was I'm going to drive into the water, but they took the wireless microphone off. So they stayed back. And the big thing was, will this little tin boat have enough flotation to support the whole car? Well, you know what happened? The boat never touched the water. The tires had enough flotation. We had lots of those, yeah.
Where did the duct tape inspiration come from? Duct tape.
Again, that was very early on in the first season. It struck us as the kind of thing that Red Green would do because he's like a little kid. He's so excited to see how this turns out. He doesn't want to wait to make it good, or even last, because he's bored with it as soon as it works, So he'll do duct tape. It's just that, and we've all done. Hell, I've done things in my real world with duct tape. It's just it is the greatest thing, and the stories people send to me are duct tape.
I like the duct tape container with the open back where you